And we are writing all these books. These books will be finished in 80 volumes. And already we have published 14 volumes already. And small books also, many, about 2 dozens. But our only writing is the goal of life. Krishna.
May I come back once to my question, Srila? The relationship between belief and experience, because this is a great question for us today, especially also in the religious circles and theologians, the priests and the monks.
The belief, the authority.
Yes.
That is it.
Yes.
That is better than experience.
Yes. And that's what in our country is very much to do with people who are living in monasteries or churches and so on.
Please come here
just
so that you will not be disturbed. You come here. Belief.
They realize that now belief, which is not faith, has to be, renewed by real experience. And you see, we have so many priests today who say they can't pray anymore. They lost the connection because of so much formalism and so much traditional beliefs. And they are looking for a new source, a new beginning in their hearts. And they don't believe what you tell them, they just want to feel it, to experience it. And there's a big change today in this direction, and there's a big movements. You see all these trend today to learn meditation. It's only one longing to feel something and not only to believe.
No.
That is the situation now very much in Germany, isn't it so?
Yes, it is so.
Okay. The thing is that first thing is that you have to believe, but whom to believe? If the person whom I believe, if he is perfect, then my belief is perfect. And if I believe a person who is not trustworthy, then there is no meaning of this belief. Therefore, we have to find out the person or the statement which I have to believe. That is accepted in the Vedic culture. The knowledge in the Vedas, that is perfect. Tad vijnanatham sa gurumeva avigache. If one is perfect in Vedic knowledge, Veda means knowledge, perfect knowledge. So, that belief is perfect. Just like we are believing Krishna. Krishna is accepted as the perfect, the supreme perfect. So far, we Indians are concerned, there are acharyas, just like Shankaracharya, Madhyacharya, Ramanujacharya. Actually, these acharyas are controlling the Indian culture. So, all of them are unanimous to believe Krishna, the supreme perfect person.
May I ask a question,
Yes.
Lester? You see, the belief, the understanding is always depending on the level of the one who wants to understand. And there's the level of our quite natural, normal mind, of the usual, general person. And there's another level where certain experiences open the door to some deeper consciousness.
Yeah.
And as you know, one of the key words of the Christian religion is in the Gospels that you have to turn around to metanoia, to pierce through a certain skin to get quite another level.
Yeah.
And from this level, the heaven opens to those who didn't understand what the heaven means. They thought it was behind the clouds. You see, there's a natural way to look at God, and this natural way to look at God is lost as soon as people go through the rational mind. And then there's no other way out but to have a personal initiatic experience. We talk about initiation when people are capable to go through a certain death and to discover another level. And so the great wisdom which you are talking about, I am sure that it also touches people on two levels. There's the ordinary man, and he might believe, but there's a deeper level when things start to change yourself, to transform yourself in deeper experiences. Am I right?
That is the beginning of instruction in the Bhagavad Gita. The beginning of knowledge.
Would you please explain for some people who don't speak English here in German, because we don't know one of your words?
Yes, but I would do not want to interrupt the master.
No, I have no objection if somebody translates into German.
Yes, I can translate. Kannst du Deutsch übersetzen? I will try. No.
Do you permit me to repeat it in German?
Yes.
For those who are present here?
Yeah.
Es ist, der Meister spricht vom Glauben, von der Überlieferung durch Krishna, und wir brauchen die Dinge nicht neu zu entdecken, sondern einfach das zu glauben, was der vollendete Gott selbst, also Krishna, gelehrt hat, und all seine Bücher geben die Weisheit Krishnas wieder. Und nun sage ich Ihnen, dass wir jetzt eigentlich in Europa, in allen westlichen Ländern, eine große Welle erfahren, wo eben vom Glauben an etwas weggegangen wird zu einem Glauben aus etwas. Das mehr und mehr gerade in der religiösen Welt Priester, Mönche, und mit denen ich sehr, sehr viel zu tun habe, immer wieder sagen, wir ersticken in einem Formalismus eines Glaubens an etwas und wir suchen nach der eigentlichen Erfahrung. Und die Erfahrung, die nun gemeint ist die seit Jahrtausenden eben die Initiationserfahrung gemeint wird, in der der Mensch durch.
Well, Krishna begins the first understanding. Dehinasmin jatha dehe kumara jogunang jara tatha dehantara prapti dhira sattam. What is the translation?
As the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change.
And now,
Translate.
yes, translate.
Wie die verkörperte Seele fortwährend in diesem Körper von Kindheit zu Jugend und zu Alter wandert, so geht sie auch beim Tode in einen anderen Körper ein. Die selbstverwirklichte Seele wird von einem solchen Wechsel nicht verwirrt.
This is the basic principle of knowledge, that I am not this body. I am the active principle within this body. Then further knowledge can be understood. This is the beginning of knowledge. That I am not this. At the present moment, everything that I was explaining to the professor, that we are accepting this body as self, and self-interest means is bodily interest. Explain this.
So dieses Verständnis ist das erste Verständnis, das wir haben müssen. Dass wir nämlich nicht mit dem Körper identisch sind. Und das hatte Srila Prabhupada in dem Professor schon erklärt, dass wir zurzeit glauben, unser Selbstinteresse sei auf der Ebene des Körpers.
So, the whole trouble is on the platform of this misconception that I am this body.
So, unsere Schwierigkeiten entstehen aus dieser falschen Auffassung, dass wir mit dem Körper identisch sind.
Therefore Krishna begins from this platform. What is knowledge? First of all, one must know that I am not this body.
Und deshalb beginnt Krishna an diesem Punkt. Er fragt, was ist wirkliches Wissen? Dass man nämlich versteht, dass wir nicht mit dem Körper identisch sind.
When we understand this basic principle of knowledge, then further knowledge can be advanced.
Wenn man dieses erste grundlegende Wissen verstanden hat, dann kann man weitergehen und weiteres Wissen entwickeln.
That is explained very nicely, step by step, in this book, Bhagavad Gita.
Das wird in der Bhagavad Gita sehr ausführlich und sehr genau, Schritt für Schritt erklärt.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Sure. If you give us this wisdom, don't you meet now in the Western world an opposition from the Christian side, where the key word is that the spirit becomes a body, the spirit becomes flesh?
That's all right. We accept
The
it.
incarnation.
Yeah.
How do you understand incarnation? Ich dachte eben, wenn das so eindeutig ist, ob er nicht dann in der christlichen Welt doch auf eine Opposition stößt, wenn es geht darum, dass der Geist Fleisch wird und die Inkarnation ja eigentlich das Zentrale was bei uns ist.
Now, this question, that spirit develops the skin, you say?
Spirit, you see, very often, I saw the difference.
Huh?
The spirit becomes the flesh.
The spirit becomes flesh.
That's it. So, this we can experience that as soon as the spirit is entered into the womb of the mother, they develop skin and the child develops body. So this is very practical. First of all, not that simply by sexual intercourse a child is born. Then every time sexual intercourse would have caused pregnancy. No. Unless the spirit soul is there,
Yes.
there is no question of developing body. Therefore, it is natural that the spirit soul creates this flesh and bone and other things and develops into body. There is no difficulty to understand it.
Yeah, but I think the professor was asking how an avatar, in the case of a sort of spirit becoming flesh, not in the case of an ordinary child. I think I have understood before.
Yes, in principle. You see, sometimes it seemed to me, I might be wrong, that there's one difference between Eastern wisdom and Christian way to think. That whereas in the Eastern way we have to become rid of our body, to be liberated from our body, whereas Christian sense means to realize the spirit within the body. Ich sagte eben, ich habe bisher immer wieder den Unterschied zwischen östlichen und westlichen Denken darin gesehen, also dass während im Osten die Sehnsucht ist oder die Idee, wir müssen uns langsam von unserem Körper befreien, gerade die christliche Vorstellung ist, dass wir im Leibe von Gott zeugen sollen und nicht als erstes daran denken, aus ihm herauszukommen.
Now,
Whereas
what is our
I'm
suffering?
sure it can be reconciled, but I'm interested to know how do you see
Yes,
this
yes.
relation.
That everyone can understand is very easy. Now, just like we have already heard from Bhagavad Gita, that I am the spirit, I am within this body. So my sufferings are on account of this body. This is a fact. Because I entered into this body, material body, there are my sufferings. Therefore my business should be how to get out of this body. Is it clear or not?
Yes.
So, This incarnation means I am spirit soul, I have entered this body, now I can next life, I can enter another body. It may be dog's body, it may be cat's body, or it may be king's body. So the standard of suffering is there, either in the king's body or in the dog's body. And the standard of suffering is enunciated: birth, death, old age and disease. These are our sufferings. So in order to get out of these 4 kinds of suffering, there are many kinds, these are the main kinds. We have to get out of this body. That is the problem.
Through many lives. Eventually get out.
Many life or this life.
Yes.
In this life you understand that my sufferings are due to this body. Then how to get out of this body? If you acquire this knowledge, you know the tricks, then you get immediately.
May I understand that way that you say, if you, for instance, or I want to go out of this body, it doesn't mean that I have to kill my body, but to realize that my spirit is independent from my body.
No, there is no question of killing. You be killed or not killed, you have to go out of this body and accept another body. That is nature's law. That you cannot avoid. It is not necessarily that first of all you have to be killed. No, there is no such
not. But I have tried to become independent from my body.
Yes, you can become.
Yes. Eben dieses Herausgehen, sagt, nachdem wir feststellen können, dass alle unser Elend damit zusammenhängt, dass wir uns mit unserem Körper identifizieren und mit unseren körperlichen Bedürfnissen, können wir doch keinen anderen Wunsch haben, aus diesem Körper herauszukommen, aber nicht einfach zu verschwinden, sondern in dieser Welt eben eine Unabhängigkeit von unserem Körper herzustellen, die ja vor allen Dingen auch auf dem Wege eines Fastens und eines, sagen wir mal, leibfernen Lebens versucht wird, soweit ich den Meister bisher verstanden habe.
But there you got some point in common with the Christian.
Sure. Lady says that there are some common points with the Christian who also certainly want to become independent from this body which wants material life only.
Yeah. It doesn't matter whether it's Christianity or Hinduism or Muslim. Knowledge is knowledge.
Yes, quite.
Wherever knowledge is available, we must become. So,
sagt eben, was wirklich Wissen ist.
Knowledge,
noch
let us explain that knowledge has no collar. Knowledge is knowledge. It doesn't matter whether Christianism or Hinduism or Mohammedan. This is a knowledge that every living entity is imprisoned within this body. This knowledge is equally good for Hindus, Muslim, Christian and everyone. There is no question of Christianism or Hinduism. The soul is imprisoned within this body, and the problem is birth, death, old age and disease on account of this body. But we want to live eternity. We want full knowledge. We want full blissfulness. To attain that goal of life, we must get out of this body. This is the problem.
Er wiederholt immer wieder, wenn ich das übersetzen darf, nicht wahr, dass alles Elend damit zusammenhängt, dass das Leben, das nicht Materie ist, in der Gefangenschaft eines materiellen Körpers vorhanden ist. Und infolgedessen eben es doch eigentlich nur ein Ziel geben kann, sich von dieser materiellen Gefangenschaft zu befreien. Das ist die Grundthese.
Die Frage ist, ob diese These richtig ist. Mir scheint es ein großes Missverständnis zu sein. Und eben nicht die Annahme des Menschen, wie er ist, sondern eher gerade der Versuch einer Flucht vor dem Menschsein. Ich kann mir natürlich jetzt einen reinen Geist konstruieren und das in der
stress on this point that we are existing in a body, but we should accept our existence as human beings.
But
Yes, more or less.
existence as human being,
As
Yes.
a human being.
you want.
Yes.
Do you think human being is existing in this body is perfect?
So glauben Sie, dass Ihre Existenz als Mensch in diesem Körper vollkommen ist?
No, I don't say it is
Ich kann
perfect.
ruhig in Deutsch sprechen,
Yes,
damit die anderen das
Ich
verstehen.
glaube nicht, dass es vollkommen ist. Haben Sie recht, wir leiden darunter. Ich sage das. Aber das ist unsere Kondition jetzt. Und es hat nicht viel Sinn, mir eine Idealkonstruktion zu machen, wie der Mensch sein könnte. Dass wir also frei sind vom Körper. Und wir müssen jetzt, so wie unser Leben ist, wie wir auf die Welt kommen, akzeptieren.
So he said, yes, he accepts that our life now is not perfect,
Right.
that we are conditioned.
Yes.
But he says we shouldn't construct an ideal human being, but we should accept our life as it is now.
No. The thing is that you are not perfect. Therefore, the ideal should be how to become perfect.
Die Sache ist, jetzt, wir verstehen, wir sind nicht vollkommen. So, wir sollten darüber nachdenken, wie können wir vollkommen werden?
Als Mann oder Spirit. Als Mensch oder als Geist. Wenn ich als Mensch vollkommen werden will, in dem Maße, wie ich es kann, das ist meine Frage. Und wo kann ich das sehen? Ich sehe nur immer Menschen um mich herum. Wo ist denn irgendwo ein erlöster Mensch in diesem Sinne?
So he asks how to become perfect as human being or as spirit, because he sees now only human beings. So this is a problem: how to become perfect as human being, not as spirit.
Why you sticking to human being, although it is imperfect? Why you are sticking to human being?
Warum bleiben Sie am Menschen kleben, wenn doch unvollkommen ist?
That's the question I have to. Das ist die Frage, die ich dann an Gott stellen muss. Warum? Wenn ich als Mensch da.
You are accepting this human being is not perfect. And still why you are sticking to this imperfect life?
Ja, das fragt wieder. Wenn Sie doch verstehen, dass diese Existenz als Mensch unvollkommen ist, warum haften Sie daran? Warum kleben Sie daran?
Now, in what way you like this human form of body? What is the purpose?
Zu welchem Zweck wollen Sie nun diesen menschlichen Körper gebrauchen?
Für mich ist der Körper eine Form der Kommunikation und eine Möglichkeit überhaupt meinen Geist auszudrücken jetzt. Ich kann es gar nicht. Ich kann jetzt im Geiste vielleicht mich mit jemandem verbinden, er weiß das nicht. Aber dadurch, dass ich einen Leib habe, kann ich in Kommunikation führen.
So he says this body is just an instrument for communication, and through this body you can communicate with other people.
So this is also possible by the birds and beasts.
Das
They also talk. Kichir, 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 kichir.
Diese Art des Verhaltens, die ist auch den Vögeln und den anderen Tieren möglich. So, das ist der Unterschied.
Da ist wohl ein Unterschied, dass ich also, soweit ich in der Tierpsychologie Bescheid weiß, erkennt sich ein Tier zum Beispiel nicht selber und wohl auch nicht einander. Sie haben kein Selbstbewusstsein. Das gilt nur für die höheren Primaten. Und dass es also solch eine Kommunikation des Geistes vermittels des Körpers gibt, das weiß ich nicht. Wenn es bei Tieren gibt, gut, ich habe nichts dagegen. Ich glaube aber, ein Grad der Kommunikation ist doch wohl ganz verschieden zwischen Menschen.
I think there's a great difference between talking of birds and bees and our talking.
Why difference? They are talking in their community, you are talking in your community.
Was ist der Unterschied? Sie
No, he has said a very good point. He said there is a difference because an animal has no self-consciousness. He does not understand what he is in essence.
Yes, that is the real point.
When I communicate myself,
that is the real point, that you can try to understand what you are. The birds and bees, they cannot understand. That is the difference. So, our human efforts should be utilized for that realization, not to act like birds and bees.
So, wir können verstehen, das ist der Unterschied, wie Sie schon sagen, dass wir können verstehen, wer wir sind. Während die Vögel und die Tiere es nicht verstehen können. Deshalb sollte unsere Anstrengung oder unser Bemühen dahin gehen, zu verstehen, wer wir sind.
Therefore, the Brahma Sutra, Vedanta Sutra, instructs in the beginning, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. This life is meant for inquiring about the Supreme Spirit or Absolute Truth. That is the aim of this life. Not like birds and bees, simply talking and eating and sleeping. But extra responsibility, extra intelligence is there to understand the Absolute Truth.
Und deshalb in dem Brahma Sutra oder Vedanta Sutra gesagt, Atato Brahma Jigyasa, das bedeutet, dieses Leben ist dazu bestimmt, nach den höchsten absoluten Wahrheit zu fragen. Nicht wie die Tiere und die Vögel nur zu sprechen über Essen, Pflanzen und so weiter, sondern dieses menschliche Leben ist dazu bestimmt, nach diesem höchsten
You
Ziel
take
zu
the
fragen.
Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto.
First part.
First part, yes. Jivasya tattva jigyasa. Jivasya tattva jigyasa. Nasche hajat karma bhi.
It's not here.
First
First
canto.
part is not here.
This one perhaps?
No, first of all, find out from the index this verse. Jivasya tattva jigyasa. Not jastriha karma bhi. Kamasya nendriya priti lava jivito javata jivasya tattva jigyasa. Just kamasya nendriya priti. Have you found?
Yes, but it's 2:10.
Huh?
Chapter 2, verse 10. But the verse is not here. It's in the first volume. That book is not here.
So he has gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is explained. That how this human form of life should be utilized. These necessities of life, they not for to complete the necessities of life, they are already supplied by God. Just like the birds and bees, they are getting their necessities of life. They have no organization or no business, no factory, but they are getting their necessities of life. So Bhagavad says, this is not the problem, to acquire only the necessities of life. The only business is to inquire about the absolute truth. That is human life.
Im Bhagavatam-Vers, den wir gleich haben, da wird erklärt, was das eigentliche Ziel des Lebens ist. Und die Bedürfnisse, unsere körperlichen Bedürfnisse, die werden auch in anderen Lebensformen genügenderweise erfüllt. Zum Beispiel die Vögel und andere Tiere. Ihre Bedürfnisse auf der körperlichen Ebene, die sind auch ohne Technik, ohne Wirtschaft, Handel und so weiter erfüllt. Essen, Schlafen und so weiter. Dafür ist gesorgt. So deshalb wird im Bhagavatam gesagt, diese menschliche Form ist noch zu etwas anderem bestimmt, darüber hinausgehend, nämlich zu fragen nach der höchsten absoluten Wahrheit.
Read this verse.
Kamasya nendriya pritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jignasa narto yascheha karma bhi. Translation. Life's desires should never be aimed at gratifying the senses. One should desire to live only because human life enables one to inquire about the absolute truth. This should be the goal of all works.
Das Ziel des Lebens sollte es niemals sein, nur für die Sinnesbefriedigung zu sorgen. Man sollte danach streben, man sollte nur danach streben, das nach der absoluten Wahrheit zu fragen. Dieses Ziel sollte das Ziel aller Handlungen sein. Denn diese menschliche Form befähigt einen, diese Frage zu stellen.
What is that? Jivasya tattva jigyasa. Inquiring about the absolute truth. That is the only business of human being.
Now may I put a question? I think there's one way to reconcile. This was given just now as a Christian view or the other side, as far as the body is concerned. Because I think there are three conscience of body. The one looks only at health. The second one only as to beauty. But the third one we are never talking about has to look to transparency of our body consciousness, to become transparent in a way that in our body and through our body we might look for the absolute truth.
Yeah.
This goes together, wenn ich das so deutsch sagen darf, dass man immer nur den Körper sieht im Hinblick auf Gesundheit und auf Schönheit, aber nie, dass es so etwas gibt, in Bezug auf den Leib, der man ist, nicht den Körper, den man hat, eine Transparenz, eine Durchlässigkeit in der Leiberfahrung auf das Absolute hin. Und da kommen die beiden Dinge zusammen.
Sieht nur die negativen Aspekte.
Ja.
So the thing is that if my life is based on false conception that I am this body, so the bodily appreciation of beauty or any other thing, that is also false. That is also false. If I am not this body, then anything conceived in relation with this body, that is false.
Wenn wir verstehen, dass wir nicht mit dem Körper identisch sind, dann ist alles, was wir im Zusammenhang mit dem Körper erfahren, auch falsch.
Das war nicht ganz so. Er sagt, wir sehen gewöhnlich den Körper auf Gesundheit oder Schönheit. Insofern bleiben wir im Körper haften. Aber es gibt eine dritte Möglichkeit, dass der Körper als transparent erfahren wird, zu etwas anderem hin. Dann ist etwas anderes.
For usually we see the body in connection with beauty or health, but there's another possibility to use the body as a transparent medium to conceive the absolute truth.
Yeah, that is explained here. Jivasya tattva jigyasa. That means with this body you should not waste your time like the birds and beasts, but utilize it for inquiring about the absolute truth. That is the reality.
Das ist im Grunde genau das, was im Bhagavatam erklärt wird, dass nämlich der Körper benutzt werden soll als Instrument. Er soll als benutzt werden, dafür ist er bestimmt. Der menschliche Körper bietet nämlich diese einzige Chance, benutzt zu werden, um nach der absoluten Wahrheit zu fragen. Das ist diese dritte Möglichkeit, die er durch kann.
Not only to the absolute truth, but to communicate together. Think of the smiling of a child. It's the first communication between men. It's not only the body as instrument for the eternal truth, but among us.
Yeah. So that you have to learn how with this body you can utilize your energy to understand the absolute truth and re-establish your relationship with the absolute truth.
Also wir müssen lernen, wie wir den Körper benutzen können, wirklich gebrauchen können, unsere Energie nicht verschwenden, sondern dazu benutzen, nach der absoluten Wahrheit zu fragen und die Beziehung zur absoluten Wahrheit wiederherzustellen.
Ist das eine Verschwendung, wenn ich ihn dazu benutze, zum Beispiel anderen Gutes zu tun, dass ich lächle, dass ich mich freue, dass ich etwas ausdrücke? Ist das Verschwendung?
So he asks, is it a waste of our energy if we try to do good for others, if we smile and be kind?
But you cannot do good to others because you do not know what is good.
So Srila Prabhupada erklärt, sie können im Grunde nicht wirklich Gutes für andere tun, weil sie nicht wissen, was dem anderen wirklich hilft.
You are thinking of good in terms of your body. But body is false. Therefore your conception of goodness is also false.
Sie denken an etwas Gutes in Beziehung zum Körper. So, weil der Körper falsch ist auch diese Auffassung, etwas Gutes zu tun, muss falsch sein.
Jesus, I can accept that the body is
No, I withdraw that word, false. But it is not you. It is false in this sense that you are accepting this body yourself. But that you are not.
Srila Prabhupada erklärt etwas genauer. Der Körper ist in dem Sinne falsch, dass er nicht sie selbst sind. Ihre eigentliche Identität, sie selbst, sind nicht mit dem Körper identisch.
I think so.
Just
I
like
live my identity
with the
my
body. But the
only.
body is false. False in this sense that you are not this body.
I am only with
You are
my
simply
body.
just I am occupying this apartment. But I am not this apartment. I am different from this apartment.
Yes.
This is understanding. So if you take interest of the apartment and you forget yourself, that is false.
Yes, but let's not.
So, Prabhupada erklärt, wir sind in dem Körper wie in einem Raum, wie hier, in diesem Raum. So, wenn wir nur an den Raum denken, dann vergessen wir uns selbst.
If I simply decorate this body, hey, decorate apartment, and I don't eat myself, then what is this? This is false attempt. We are trying, this is called, in the Bhagavad it is said that apranasya hi dehasya mannanam lokaranjanam. Now, this body, you or I, everyone, we are nicely dressed. But if the life is gone from the body, if you dress the body, is that very good intelligence? You have understood?
Yes.
That I am dressing, so long my life is there, I am dressing very nicely, this body. But when the body is dead, if you dress the body, or somebody, your relative dresses nicely, it is very good intelligence.
Solange wir leben, kleiden wir den Körper sehr schön, das sieht sehr schön aus. Sobald wir tot sind, wenn dann jemand noch den Körper kleidet, ist er dann immer noch schön oder bedeutet das, dass man sehr intelligent ist?
Gerade das scheint mir zu zeigen, dass der Vergleich falsch ist zwischen einem Raum, in dem ich bin, und dem Körper und meiner Seele. Der Raum bleibt bestehen, wenn ich rausgehe, aber der Körper bleibt nicht.
Example of this comparison with the room and the body is not very good because he said.
But because he does not know that he is not this body.
Yeah, but he says because if we go out of the room remains as it is. But if we go out of the body doesn't remain. So he said there must be an intimate connection between the soul and the body.
Remains in the same way. It's like if I leave this room and it remains there, in few years' time it will be destroyed. And similarly, if you leave this body, in few hours, it is a question of hours and years.
So, im Grunde ist es doch richtig, denn wenn man diesen Raum verlässt, in ein paar Jahren spätestens wird er zusammenkommen. Da bleibt also nicht ewig bestehen. So, wenn wir den Körper verlassen, er wird in 3 Wochen vielleicht zerfallen. The body is, the soul is eminent.
The soul is different from the body.
Yeah, but at the same time, he said that there must be a very intimate connection, actually a oneness of body and soul. That is what it is now.
No.
As long as we are alive.
As long as we are alive.
Yeah.
We have to
That is not oneness. Just like this room is important so long I am living. Otherwise it has no importance.
Es gibt keine Einheit zwischen Körper und Seele. Genau wie der Raum, der ist nur so lange wichtig.
Soul is gone from the body. Even the body is very dear, I throw it away.
Das kann man sehr praktisch erfahren. Wenn die Seele aus dem Körper rausgegangen ist, wir sagen, der Körper ist tot, dann wird er weggeworfen. Die nächsten Verwandten, die verscharren ihn, wollen nichts mehr damit zu tun haben. So das Beweis, da ist ein Unterschied zwischen Körper und Seele.
Das sage ich ja auch gerade. Nur
He doesn't want to separate this.
But you must separate. As soon as your death comes, your body will be kicked out by your relative.
I think the difference is now just one that folks spoke about our lifetime. That during our lifetime, there's an intimate unity between life and soul, as we experience it. And makes no doubt that soul is something different of the body. And when soul goes out, there's no life anymore. So ich glaube, wir können das fallen lassen.
May I please add one thing? Perhaps it makes a difference if the person thinks, I am the spirit, I have a body, or he thinks, I am a body and I possess a soul. That is an important point.
Yes. That is his mistake. That he is body and he possesses soul. But not that. His soul is covered by this body.
Ich meinte nicht Sie, ne?
Der Unterschied war, dass der Herr hier
Another example, just like your coat, so long you use it, it is important. And if you don't use it, it is not important. But if you take coat, it is very important. It is important, so long you use it. But if you don't use it, it is torn, you throw it out. You take another coat.
Mit ihrem Anzug, der ist so lange, hat eine Bedeutung, solange sie ihn tragen. Und wenn sie ihn nicht mehr tragen, dann hat er keine Bedeutung mehr.
Das ist aber ein falsches Beispiel.
Can we not also say that self and not self must separate, either in death, involuntarily, or through destiny?
Must separate.
Self and not self must separate.
Must separate.
Either through death or destiny.
Yeah, that is called death. you separate from this body, you accept another body. This period is called death.
Wenn Sie den Körper verlassen, wird das mit Tod genannt. Das heißt, man muss sich vom Körper trennen. Da gibt es einen Unterschied zwischen Körper und Seele. Die Seele trennt sich vom Körper.
Ja,
Ja.
So, the body which you occupied previously, that is false now. Now the body which you have occupied now, that is important now. So you are giving stress on the body, which I am changing after a few years. That is the problem.
Ja, wir sollten
Misunderstand.
das Thema etwas wechseln. Die Meister nach etwas Entscheidendem fragen. I think it would be important for us all to know what would you say to the question how to realize the last truth. And what do you mean by realize the eternal truth? Die Grundfrage, die man eigentlich mal stellen muss, was ist Ihr Weg, die letzte Wahrheit zu erkennen und zu verwirklichen?
I would like very much to read this citation. Ich möchte auch gerne ein Zitat aus dem Johannesevangelium geben, damit wir die Gemeinsamkeit vielleicht sehen. Das ist quasi eine Definition. Dort heißt es, das ist das ewige Leben, das wir dich
Übersetzen.
He said that in the Bible it is said that our aim should be to know the Father. So the Son. That should be
not only the aim, but the life consists in this, to know the Father, God, by His Son.
Real life consists in knowing the Father by His Son. That's a saying of the Gospels in John.
Real life.
And that's exactly what you say. That real life, real eternal life means nothing but to recognize the Father in the Son.
Yes. That is real business. And we have created so many unnecessary superfluous business. We have set aside the real business to know the Father. And that is the mistake of this civilization.
Diese heutige Zivilisation hat so viele unnötige Dinge geschaffen, die nämlich diese eigentliche Aufgabe des menschlichen Lebens verdrängt.
Back to your question.
Professor Durkheim's question was very simply, what is our way or what is our method to realize the highest truth? To realize the highest
Because we would learn from you what's your way.
Yeah.
What is our
The
process?
simplest method is to associate with the Father or the Absolute Truth by association. This association can be possible. God, His name, His form, His pastimes, His abode, His paraphernalia, everything is God. Because absolute. First of all, you should understand this, absolute truth. Just like here in the relative world, the name of a person is different from the person. But in the absolute world, the name and the person the same. So, we are teaching or preaching this, that you chant the holy name of God, you associate immediately with God. And if you associate immediately with God, then gradually you become godly. The example is, just like you put one iron rod in the fire, it becomes warmer, and at last red hot. When it is red hot, it is no longer iron rod, it is fire. Similarly, if you simply associate with God, then gradually you become godly, or all the qualities of God. Then you understand God and your life becomes perfect.
So, Herr Professor Durkheim hat die Frage gestellt, was unser Weg ist, unser Vorgang.
The holy name of Krishna,
Holy name of God.
of God.
If you don't like to chant Krishna, you chant in your own way.
Yes.
But chant the name of God. If you know the name of God, chant it.
Yes.
If you do not know, then take it from me.
Exactly. Jeder soll seinen Namen Gottes singen. Wenn wir keinen Namen singen, sollen wir ihn fragen, er wird einen geben.
We are recommending to chant the holy name of God. If you know, you chant that name. And if you don't know, then take it from me.
Das ist also die Sache, dass es geht um das Chanten der heiligen Namen Gottes. Nicht, dass wir denken, Krishna sei irgendeine indische Gottheit, sondern es geht um den Namen. So, wenn Sie irgendeinen Namen für Gott kennen, dann...
Explained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that God has many thousands of names, or God has no name. No name means he has got so many thousands and millions of names that you cannot say this is only God's name. This is one sense. But how God names are understood? The God names are understood by His action. Just like we say Krishna. Krishna means all attractive. God is all attractive. God is attractive for the Hindus, for the Muslims, for the Christians, for everyone. Therefore, being all attractive, this is Sanskrit word of all attraction, Krishna. This is the explanation of the attribute of God. Similarly, if you have got similar name, which explains the attributes of God, that is also God's name.
So Gott hat hunderte und Millionen von Namen. Das ist nicht begrenzt. So daher kann man zu der Schlussfolgerung kommen, im Grunde hat Gott keinen Namen, eigentlich. Aber wir verstehen es in dieser Weise, dass Gott seinen Namen hat, entsprechend der Handlung, der Aktivität, die er ausführt. Zum Beispiel der Name Krishna bedeutet der alles Anziehende. Gott ist anziehend für die Hindus, für die Muslims, für die Christen, für jeden ist er anziehend. Deshalb das Sanskrit-Wort für Gott ist Krishna. Das ist ein Name Gottes.
Yes, I think he said that Lord Jesus Christ said, God, hallowed be thy name.
The Lord's Prayer.
Yes.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
So he has a name. You find out what is his name and chant it. And if you do not know, then take it from us. That is all. He has a name. He has a name. He's not without name.
So, Jesus hat auch gesagt, geheiligt sei dein Name. So Gott hat einen Namen. Und den sollen wir chanten. So wenn wir es nicht wissen, fragen wir Srila Prabhupada.
Darf ich da was zu sagen? Ja? Mir scheint hier liegt vielleicht doch fast dieselbe Anschauung zugrunde, die wir im Alten Testament haben, also von der israelischen Religion, dem Christentum. Wenn Jesus sagt, dein Name sei geheiligt oder werde geheiligt, oder wenn es heißt, im Namen Gottes Heilige, ja, dann ist das aus Scheu gesagt, man will nicht direkt Gott irgendwie nennen, ja, mit einem anderen, also ihn nennen mit einem definitiven Namen oder Wort. Und deshalb sagt man in seinem Namen oder mit seinem Namen. Aber als Moses fragte, wie heißt du, dann hat er keine Antwort bekommen von Gott, ja, in der Offenbarung des Alten Testamentes, sondern Gott hat gesagt, ich bin oder der ich sein werde. Aber ich habe eigentlich keine Namen, die alle Götter und Götzennamen haben. Denn man meinte, dass man dann, wenn man den Namen eines Gottes kannte, dann hatte man auch Macht.
It says from the Old Testament, when Jesus says, hallowed be your name, be holy. So he didn't say a particular name because he says God has actually no name. Because if we...
Now it can be no name. He says, hallowed be thy name. He has a name, therefore he says.
But there is no name in the Bible.
That doesn't mean. He might not have mentioned or he have not noted. But when he says, hallowed be thy name, there must be the name. Therefore I say, if you do not know the name, you take it from us. That is intelligence. Why should you say that there is no name? He said, hallowed be thy name. There must be a name. But you do not know.
Das wurde ja gesagt, geheiligt sei der Name. Also da muss ein Name da sein, auch wenn er dann nicht genannt wird in der Bibel.
Nein.
Das ist nicht der Punkt, nicht, dass es da nicht erwähnt wird. So, wenn Sie ihn nicht wissen, dann fragen Sie. Er mag woanders erwähnt sein.
Ja. Der Name Gottes, dieser Ausdruck selber, Name Gottes, steht einfach für Gott im Judentum, im Spätjudentum, weil man gerade die Distanz zu Gott bewahren will. Ja, man gibt ihm keinen spezifischen Namen.
He thinks that it is purposely done not to say the name of God.
Because there is name, you find out.
He said this, when there is said, hallowed be the name, it's meant in this way, that there's no mention of a particular name to be respectful.
Yes.
To
So that we say, that God has no particular name. But according to action, His name is done. Just like Krishna. Krishna is not the name. Krishna means all attractiveness.
When Moses asked,
Just as Buddha is not a name.
Because he is man of knowledge, therefore he is called Buddha.
The one who has reached
Buddha means one who has perfect knowledge.
Buddha is not the name of somebody.
Just like you say, hallowed be thy name, President.
Buddha ist nicht der Name.
President. Now the President has a name, but you do not know. But the President must have a name.
Ja, aber die Sache ist, dass tatsächlich der Name ist kein bestimmter, sondern entsprechend dem Aspekt oder der Aktion Gottes hat er einen. Wie Krishna bedeutet, der alles anziehen wird.
Has the name a special esoteric meaning, and is the technique of chanting the name, has this a special hidden purpose that the unenlightened do not?
Hidden, not hidden, but open. Because Absolute is not different from His name. Therefore, when you chant the name of the Absolute, that means you associate with the Absolute. As soon as you associate with the Absolute, you become purified.
Like iron and fire.
Yes.
So, die Frage war, ob hinter dem Chanten des Heiligen Namens etwas Bestimmtes steckt, etwas Esoterisches oder etwas Geheimnisvolles. Und Paul antwortet nein, denn Gott ist absolut.
The Vedic injunction. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama iva kevalam. Kalo nastiva, nastiva, nastiva gatirannatha. For your perfection, you simply chant the name of the Lord. Harer Nama. Harer means of the Lord. And Nama means name. The thrice, just like we give stress 3 times. You do it, you do it, you do it. This is a good stress. Similarly, the Shastra says, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Nama iva kevalam. Simply you chant the Lord's name. Kalu, in this age of Kali, Nastiva, Nastiva, Nastiva gatirannatha. There is no other alternative for self-realization, no other alternative self-realization. Therefore, stress should be given for everyone to chant the holy name of the Lord.
Dies bestätigt finden wir in einer vedischen Schrift Srila Naradiya Purana, wo dieser Vers kommt, Harinama, 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 Kalau, Nastiva, 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 Gati Amrita. So Harinama bedeutet, Harya bedeutet Gott und Nama sein Name, das wird 3-mal wiederholt. Harinama, chante den Heiligen Namen, chante den Heiligen Namen, chante den Heiligen Namen. Wann? Im Zeitalter, in diesem Zeitalter, Kalau, Kali, 3-mal wird es auch wiederholt. Im Kali-Zeitalter gibt es keine andere Möglichkeit, Gott zu verwirklichen, als durch das Chanten.
Kali means the age of quarrel. The age of quarrel.
Singen oder sprechen.
This age is simply about fighting and quarreling. They are not interested to understand the absolute truth, but they are interested in fighting and quarreling. Therefore this is called Kali. Kali means fighting.
So dieses Zeitalter wird Kali genannt, das Kali-Yuga. Weil in diesem Zeitalter ist Vorherrschen oder praktisch nichts anderes als Zank, Streit und Uneinigkeit.
Die Antwort auf die Frage, wie Sie das machen, ist also, wir singen den Namen Gottes,
Singen
Krishna.
Oder sprechen.
Sprechen.
Singen oder sprechen, das ist Chanten, ja.
Would you please be so kind as to further elucidate your technique? Also, one chants the name of God, and will you please be so kind as to elucidate further in some particular way, or what comes, was noch dazu käme in dem Sinne? What should be done in addition to that, or how it is formulated in the complete system of your reverent teachings?
Yeah, this is the Bhakti Marga means. The first thing is Sravanam, hearing. It's like these books are being written to give chance people to hear. That is first business. If we don't hear about God, we simply imagine something, Now we must hear about God. We are publishing 80 books like this, simply to hear about God. Then when you hear perfectly, then you can describe to others. That is called Kirtanam. Savanam, Kirtanam. And when the process goes on, hearing and chanting or describing, Kirtanam means describing. Just like this whole society is hearing from these books and they are going out to describe. This is called Kirtanam. Then, by these two processes, hearing and chanting, you remember. Smaranam. That means, remembering, you always associate with God.
So at all times, remember me.
Yeah. Savanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. Then worshipping the deity. To offer flowers to the lotus feet of the Lord, to garland, to dress, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, offer prayer, Dasam, serve. In this way, there are 9 different processes.
Maybe we have a similar thing in the Christian parallel to die Vergegenwärtigung Gottes im täglichen Leben von Bruder Laurentius, eine sehr ähnliche Idee.
Yes, Christian method, the offering prayer. That is also bhakti. That is bhakti.
So, Dr. Zara fragte, was wir außer dem Chanten noch tun.
Kali Yuga means fighting. Nobody is interested to understand the truth, but they will simply fight. In my opinion, this, I will say my opinion, this, he will say his opinion. So many foolish opinions and fight between themselves. This is the age.
What are the
No standard opinion. Everyone has got his own opinion. Therefore there must be fight. Everyone says, I think like this. Oh, what is your value? You are thinking like that. That is correct. Because you have no standard knowledge. If a child says, the father, in my opinion, he shall do it. Is that opinion to be taken? If he does not know the thing, how he can give his opinion? But here in this age, everyone is prepared with his own opinion. Therefore it is fight, quarrel. Just like the United Nations, all the big men go there to become united, but they are increasing flags, that's all. Fighting. It is a society of fighting only. The Pakistan, the Hindustan, the American, the Vietnam, it was meant for unity, but it is rendered into fighting association, that's all. Everything. Because everyone is imperfect and he wants to give his perfect knowledge.
There you mean the Kali Yuga exists all the time?
No. This is a period when foolish men have developed. Instead of making solution, they fighting in it. Because they have no standard knowledge. Therefore, this Brahma Sutra says that you should be eager to inquire about the absolute truth. Athat Brahma Jigyasa. Now the answer, next code is, the Brahma or the absolute truth is that from which or from whom everything has come. Athat Brahma Jigyasa Janmadasya Jataha. Now you find out where is everyone is trying to find out what is the ultimate cause. That should be the end. If you follow this philosophical course, then your fighting will stop. It will be sober. This verse also. Tattva Jigyasa. Tattva Jigyasa means to inquire about the absolute truth. Sit down. Because there should be a class of men, very intelligent class of men in the society, who are discussing about the absolute truth. And they will inform others. This is absolute truth, my dear friends, my dear, you do it like this. That is wanted. But here everyone is absolute truth. That is fighting.
Srila Prabhupada war in Rom gewesen und da gab es gerade auch Kämpfe zwischen Kommunisten und Faschisten. So früher gab es nur Kämpfe zwischen Nationen, aber diese Kampfhaltung oder diese Uneinigkeit breitet sich immer mehr aus zwischen Gruppen und auch zwischen Einzelmenschen. Warum? Weil keiner über wirkliches Wissen verfügt, sondern jeder eben seine unvollkommene Meinung propagiert. Und die Lösung dafür ist, für diese Probleme, ist das, was im Bhagavatam gesagt wird, Atato Brahma Jigyasa, dass man nämlich Fragen über die absolute Wahrheit stellt. Heutzutage, jeder präsentiert sich als die vollkommene Wahrheit, aber jeder sollte einsehen, dass er nichts weiß und diese Frage stellen an die Autorität, an die Quelle, wo das wirkliche Wissen herkommt. Dann, wenn jemand hört von einer Klasse von Menschen, die dieses Wissen verwirklicht hat oder die dieses Wissen lehrt, dann kann man zu einer friedlichen Zusammenleben kommen.
Ist das nicht immer schon so gewesen, dass man das geglaubt hat? Wenn Plato sagte, nicht wahr, die Könige sollten Weise sein, die Weisen sollten Könige sein. Und hat man nicht immer schon...
It was always the desire of mankind to find, where he says, the kings should be wise and the wise men should be kings.
Yeah.
So he said, this was always a desire,
But thing is that this desire is there everywhere. But whose desire is standard? That should be understood. Everyone is desiring. But whose desire is to be followed? What is the factual desire? That is to be understood. Unless you do not know what is the standard of desire, then this fighting will go on. You desire in one way, I desire in my way.
Also dieser Wunsch oder diese Sehnsucht, die war immer schon da, das ist richtig. Aber Srila Prabhupada sagt, wir müssen verstehen, was oder wer, nach welchem Verlangen sollen wir gehen. Sie haben ein Verlangen und ein anderer hat ein anderes Verlangen. So was ist die Autorität oder die Plattform für das wirkliche Verlangen, dem alle anderen folgen können. Wer ist maßgebend? Was ist der maßgebliche Wunsch? Ihr Wunsch oder ein anderer Wunsch? Das ist die Frage.
Der Wunsch nicht maßgebend, welches Wissen ist maßgebend. Der Wunsch ist überall der gleiche, aber welches Wissen ist maßgebend.
Same, but the knowledge is important also.
No. That knowledge, that is described. Knowledge is according to the quality of the person. If the man is a devout, what is the value of his knowledge? We cannot take up the knowledge achieved by a devout. The perfect human being is this guy. Samodamo Tidikha Arjava. Find out.
Yes. Und wir müssen also tatsächlich auch nach dem Wunsch gehen, denn danach richtet sich das Wissen. Je nachdem, was man wünscht oder wonach man verlangt, dementsprechend bekommt man Wissen. So, das ist also auch wichtig.
Also Sie können ja nicht den Himmel auf die Erde holen, wenn Menschen mehr leben müssen. Das ist doch gar nicht
so, she says we cannot have heaven on earth. We cannot have heaven on earth simply by our desire to live.
No, despite there are intelligent class of men, they sit together, they do not fight. Still you can make, because the example is there, but that requires qualification. Therefore, what is that qualification?
Shamodamasta paksocham shantir arjavam evacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahmakarma svabhavajan. Translation. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge, and religiousness. These are the qualities by which the Brahmanas work.
That is the quality of the highest intelligent class of man. So if you do not find such qualities, how his knowledge will be perfect? These are the qualities.
Friedfertigkeit, Selbstbeherrschtheit, Enthaltsamkeit, Reinheit, Duldsamkeit, Ehrlichkeit, Gelehrtheit, Weisheit und Religiosität sind die Eigenschaften, die die Handlungsweise der Brahmanas bestimmen. So das sind die intelligente Gruppe in der Gesellschaft. Und Srila Prabhupada hat eben gesagt, intelligente Menschen, die leben zusammen, ohne Streit. So, es ist also notwendig, diese Eigenschaften zu entwickeln. Dann ist es möglich, dass man zusammenlebt, ohne sich zu streiten.
Sind wir alle davon überzeugt?
He doubts. So everyone is convinced
Huh?
about that. He's doubting if we should be convinced about that.
Well, if he is not self-controlled, he will not be convinced. Because he will think it is rebellious. I can do anything what I like. I can eat whatever I like. How he will like this idea, self-control.
But one question, you see, these virtues have been always asked for by Christian churches also.
Yeah.
Exactly the same.
Everybody did.
But then today we realize that the virtues are on one level with the vices. But there's something different. If you pass through the initiatic step, you get somewhere, you see, where we can understand, for instance, if Christ says, let the dead bury their dead. A phrase like this appeals to a different level. So I think as long as...
No, it's not different level. The advice is given according to the time person. So, if people follow Lord Christ and instruction, that is also perfect. But they do not follow.
They do not?
They do not follow.
Sure not.
That's it. Otherwise, either you follow Bhagavad Gita or Bible as they are, then you become gradually perfect. The difficulty is they do not follow. And still they are claiming, I am Christian, I am Hindu, I am this, I am that. Rubber stamp. No qualification, but rubber stamp. This is the defect.
Ja, was ich ja die Frage gestellt, ich sagte nicht wahr, diese Tugenden sind ja immer von Christus und von der Kirche gefordert worden. Aber Tugenden im Sinne der Ethik sind auf einer Ebene mit den Lastern oder mit den Untugenden gegenüber der Gemeinschaft. Und wir hören von Christus immer Sätze, die diese Ebene der Tugendlaster durchbrechen. Wenn er zum Beispiel sagt, lasst doch die Toten ihre Toten begraben. Und ich bin nicht gekommen, das Frieden zu bringen, sondern das Schwert. Es gibt also eine Ebene.
First of all, acquire this material qualification, then talk of spiritual.
So, das ist wichtig. Wir müssen erst diese materiellen Eigenschaften oder Tugenden entwickeln, dann können wir weitergehen. So deshalb ist es notwendig, diese Eigenschaften zu entwickeln.
I think in the university, if one wants to learn about law, he must be graduate first.
Yes, in India.
So, first of all, you become graduate, then talk of law, books. Similarly, you first of all become a Brahmin, then you understand about Brahma, absolutely. Without becoming Brahmin, how you can understand?
Good.
Natürlich. Kurz zu erklären, das ist genau wie bei der Rechtswissenschaft, wenn man...
The three modes of material nature and the work ascribed to them, the four divisions of human society, were created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable.
In Entsprechung zu den drei Erscheinungsweisen der materiellen Natur und der Arbeit, die ihnen zugeordnet ist, wurden die vier Einteilungen der menschlichen Gesellschaft von mir geschaffen. Und obwohl ich der Schöpfer dieses Systems bin, solltest du wissen, dass ich dennoch nicht daran...
Your message, I think, will be very much appreciated by that youth of today in the western part of the world who says to the adults, you have educated us to go to maintain our position in the world, to do something useful for the community, and to behave nicely. But you never ask us who we are and who we should become.
That is the beginning of our talk, that you are spirit soul.
Everyone?
You are spirit soul.
Yes,
You are not this body. That is the beginning of our talk.
Ich sagte eben, er stößt mit seiner Botschaft sicher auf offene Herzen einer Jugend, die uns heute fragt, ihr habt uns dazu erzogen, uns in der Welt durchzusetzen, etwas Tüchtiges für die Gemeinschaft zu leisten und uns ethisch wohl zu verhalten. Aber niemand fragt danach, wer wir eigentlich innerlich sind und wer wir vom tiefsten her werden wollen.
Und das hat Srila Prabhupada ganz am Anfang beantwortet, als er sagte, wir sind nicht der Körper, wir sind nicht damit identisch, sondern wir sind Seele.
Das ist keine Antwort.
Warum sagte ich in die Beziehung?
Das ist keine Antwort für unsere wirkliche Situation in dieser Welt.
So that is the answer, that we are not this body, we are spirit. So it is not our real answer to our actual problem. He said that if he said that we are fleeing from the actual problems we have now.
Actual program.
So.
The actual program is there.
Wenn die Seele wieder ernst genommen wird, das ist ja was ganz Neues.
Aber nicht in der Weise. I would like another question. The difference, it seems to me, I'm not sure, ja, ich bin nicht sicher, es scheint, dass die Schule doch ein großer
Later on.
Unterschied sei, aber das sage ich im Vorgang.
Speaking of a gradual process of self-realization. First of all, we are speaking of a gradual process of self-realization. First adopting the brahminical qualities and going further and further. So he asked if he's missing, if it's not possible to become illuminated at once by God's grace, become converted without undergoing these different...
Chant Hare Krishna. That is it.
Hare Krishna mantra, chanting, Hare Krishna, das
Yes, you haven't got to undergo these and that. Simply chant and you will become perfect. So easiest. But still they will not accept. That is the difficulty. When you give the easiest way, they won't accept. Easiest way is we are recommending to chant the holy name of God. Do it.
Das ist die große Missverständnis in die Selbsterlösungstheorie.
Deshalb frage ich auch nicht vorbereitet.
Not that you chant the name of Krishna. You have got your name of God. You chant that. Begin that.
Habe ich noch eine Frage. Das ist die question of truth.
Then how can I help you? There is no. You do not know. So our recommendation is not my recommendation, from the Vedic literature, authoritative recommendation, and the Bhagavad Gita, Satatam Kirtantam Mam Jatantascha Divabrata. Everything is there. You begin. Therefore I said in this age, so many things is impossible to be done. But you begin chanting the holy name of God. What is the difficulty?
To know the name. Because ich sehe, dass...
To know why you are doubtful. There is name. If you do not know, take it from us.
I see that so many...
Why you deny that?
There are thousands and millions of...
That's all right. Here is one name. Why don't you take it?
No, I said millions of men are looking for the name.
Yeah. But if I am giving the name, why don't you take it?
Why? Because I am not convinced that it's the right name.
That is your misfortune. What can I do? That is your misfortune.
Yes. Genau, ich denke, das ist Ihr Pech, dass Sie meine nicht haben.
Welchen haben Sie?
Ich habe...
How can I help?
Gott hat keinen Namen für mich, aber Jesus hat mir das Lesen.
You do not know the name. If somebody is informing you, here is the name, you still will not take. Now that is your misfortune. What can we do? A misfortunate man cannot be helped. Here is also Satatam Kirtantam Mam
Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantascha Judha Vrata Namasyantascha Mam Bhaktya Nitya Yukta Upasate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion.
Ohne Unterlass preisen Sie meine Herrlichkeiten, bemühen sich mit großer Entschlossenheit und bringen mir ihre Ehrerbietung dar. So verehren mich die großen Seelen unaufhörlich mit Hingabe.
You can find this. And when I was in Africa, I saw the people are looking for the name and chanting like you chant. But they have a complete different idea of God. My question is, how can I know what is the right name? From where do you know this?
But as a human being, you can study what you have seen in Africa, what you are seeing here. There is much difference.
I mean, my impression only. I saw singing the people.
Just like these boys and girls, they are coming from Jewish group or Christian group, They have not come from India. How they are chanting and enjoying, you can see.
No, I mean the intention was the same. They're looking for food. They are
The following of policy, you have to see the result and study.
I was quite surprised.
Yes.
Very good.
And ask them to induce to chant any other name. They will not do that. Following of policy. You have to study by the result of the activity, not theoretically.
Nicht nach dem Ergebnis gehen, nicht nach der Theorie. Sie können ja sehen, was dabei herauskommt, wenn man wirklich chantet, indem Sie einfach uns studieren.
Yes, that would be the criterion for me.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the same what the Christian criterion is when St. Paul speaks. We have the same.
Now we
phenomena.
say that you follow Christian principle, you become perfect. But the difficulty is nobody follows anything. He follows his own opinion, that's all. In my opinion. What you are, your opinion. That is the difficulty. Yes, you can take.
Srila Prabhupada, in the Bible there are even a lot of statements regarding chanting, instructions that people should chant the holy name of God. Like in the Old Testament it said from the morning to evening you should chant the holy name of God.
Yeah. That is the business in these days. Chant the holy name of God.
Whatever you do in the name of Jesus Christ.
That's all they take, do it in the name of Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Prabhupada, would you like to take your prasadam now?
Not now. Later. The simplest method, chant the holy name of God. That's all.
Should this chanting be loud, or can it also be half loud, whisper, or silently, mentally? Does it play any difference? Does it make any difference?
If you chant loudly, then others can hear. They also take benefit. Yeah?
Der fragt, ob es einen Unterschied macht, ob man laut chantet oder leise vor sich hin flüstert oder einfach nur in Gedanken den Namen Gottes spricht.
Even the birds and beasts, they will hear and be benefited.
So, Srila Prabhupada sagt, natürlich ist es besser, wenn man laut chantet, weil andere daraus ihren Vorteil ziehen können. Wenn die Vögel oder Tiere oder Bienen es auch hören, das ist sehr gut für sie.
Vielleicht erzeugt man dadurch eine Art so Vibrationsfeldung durch.
Therefore, loud chanting is recommended. So that even the bird, beast, trees, plants, they can hear.
Yeah.
Und deshalb ist es empfohlen, laut zu chanten, damit auch die Vögel, die Bienen, die Bäume, die Pflanzen, jeder davon seinen Nutzen haben kann.
I seldom saw so many happy faces as today, this evening, below.
Yeah. That is the case in America also. The ladies and gentlemen ask them, are you Americans?
Yes.
Are you Americans?
Uh-huh.
Because they do not see Americans such nice face. One Christian priest, I was going from Los Angeles to Hawaii, so he came to talk with me. He inquired, Swamiji, how is that your disciples look so bright? He inquired. Yes.
Without drugs.
Yeah. And one Christian priest issued one pamphlet that these boys, they are our boys, But before this, they are not coming to the church. They did not want to ask anything about God. Now they are mad after God. How is it? He admitted, they are our men. And I give you another example. In our Los Angeles temple, this was a church, big church. It was not going on. It was being closed. And it was sold to us. And now go and see, there is daily thousands of the same man, the same place. The crowd is so. Yeah. Why? I have not brought all these men from India. Just judge.
There are hardly any.
Unless it is something sublime, how they are accepting it. And they are all young boys. Not that they have become old, therefore they are singing after God. And young man has got so many aspirations to go to the restaurant, to smoke, to enjoy, girlfriend, boyfriend. They have given up everything.
And they are working in the society. They are working.
We are working, we are writing this book and selling. That's all. This is our work.
I see.
We have no other. Even in the Indian Parliament, the question was raised that how is that this international society is spending lavishly? What is their income? There is a rumor that Americans are sending these CIA, what is that? Rascal people that think the CIA has come to dance and chant Hare. So, and of course the reply was given that we have no information that these people are CIA, but we know that they are maintaining themselves by selling their literature and public contribution. That's all. And we have got 102 centers like this. This is not very... If you go to a Los Angeles center, New York center, and other Vrindavan center and Navadvip center, not less than 200 men are there, always. And we are providing the food, shelter, and we give education to the children, we are getting them married. We don't allow these boys to live as friends. No, you get yourself married. Yes.
Alle verstanden, dass die Tätigkeit, ich glaube, es ist wichtig, dass das übersetzen. Ich weiß, dass die Mitglieder nichts anderes tun als Arbeit, als die Bücher zu vertreiben, die sie herausbringen. Also nicht in der Welt stehen auf irgendeiner Arbeit, sondern die Glieder dieser Gruppe vertreiben Bücher, in denen die Weisheit also niedergelegt ist.
Here is a girl, Kausalya. I picked her from Hawaii. Now you can ask what she was and what she is now.
Wovon leben Sie?
Vom Verkauf der Bücher.
Now she is married, she is happy, she is everything. Life is there. Hare Krishna. So I think you are all learned gentlemen. You should give us support and cooperate with this movement. It is a very nice movement. That is my request to you.
Srila Prabhupada bittet Sie, da Sie alle sehr gebildet sind und diese Dinge verstehen können, dass Sie uns unterstützen, dass Sie diese wichtige Bewegung nach besten Kräften helfen, weiter zu verbreiten.
May we take your leave, Srila Prabhupada?
No, you sit down. Okay. I have not. I can talk all night. Because it is Krishna's talk, and that is you have read already. Satatam kirtantam. Why do you stop? Satatam. Go on, continue. What is that? Satatam means?
Always.
Satatam kirtantam mam jatantascha jirabrata. Namasantasma.
In what way can we support or cooperate with your movement? In what way can we be of optimal benefit to your movement?
That is a simple thing. You chant Hare Krishna.
No, I mean in an extended way. For example,
we have got a life membership program, which can be
No,
if
but-
they're interested, can participate in that way.
You can become a life member and read all these books and chant Hare Krishna.
no,
There is no loss. Suppose you chant Hare Krishna, there is no material loss on your part. But if there is any gain, why don't you take it?
no, my question was perhaps a little not quite clear. Many of us here, myself, represent not only their personal selves but are here on behalf of certain institutions, and we are active in some form or the other of public service, this gentleman probably also. And in what way, for example, would we serve your movement by giving a clear explanation about the aims of your activity, for example, removing prejudices, supporting Sanskrit studies and the better distribution of the Bhagavad Gita in this form, in such ways perhaps?
Yeah. We are writing this book for distribution.
Yes, yes.
The people
Yes,
in
I've
general.
already suggested that.
Yeah. And they are not manufactured knowledge.
Yes, yes.
The standard knowledge,
Yes, yes.
basic knowledge.
Yes, yes.
I am explaining for
Yes.
understanding of the people in general.
Yes, yes.
Each word is being explained.
Yes. Yes, good for what is, yes, I said. I was very...
Here is my dictaphone, I am sitting here. So as soon as I stop talking, I said, right, immediately. At night also, I get up at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and write these books.
Prabhupada came to the United States in 1965, and this movement was started in 1966-67. And since that time he has published about 20 books like this, including Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Chaitamrita.
And what is the number of books sold last year?
4 million.
4 million.
But may I please put a question before I forget? I heard from I read in the invitation that this center is not only a center as such, but something more. It should also be an ashram and also a forest university in the tradition of the ancient times.
Yes.
A kind of a university of
Yes.
Indian and allied sciences, Vedic sciences.
My idea is that all our centers should be self-supported. We do not like that idea that for your support you have to go 100 miles to get your bread. And that is a very, very dangerous problem. You produce your food locally and then support yourself. The main problem is what to eat, where to sleep. So we get some place and support ourselves by producing our own food. We have already begun. New Vrindavan, new West Virginia, and similar other centers. We are producing our food, grains, vegetable, fruits, and milk. That is sufficient. But you don't kill any animal.
No.
That you don't.
But will this center also be a kind of a place of learning for Sanskrit studies and allied topics? Yes, that is important.
We are educating our children in Dallas.
Yes.
Very good institution.
Yes.
Sanskrit and English.
Yes.
And they are reading these books. That is sufficient. If they read this book, all different department of knowledge will be acquired. Jasmin vijñāti sarvamedam vijñātam bhavanti.
Thank you.
You can play a little record. Last
This morning's
minute.
recording.
Yes.
May I please ask, are there is also room for physical yoga exercises by chanting of the God's name?
Yes, we are exercising by dancing.
Yes, of course.
Make little louder. What are these pictures?
These are pictures of our society's activities and goals.
Very constructive and very so much success in a relative very short time. If you began in 1966.
57.
Awesome. And during the Bangladesh crisis, you also
Yes, anyone can feed that much. There are many refugees, so we fed them.
Awesome. But that automatically answers the question of this gentleman also, the body in the service of other people. This is always necessary.
No, we give food. Anyone come and take food. Here also, there is no question of Bangladesh, but anyone come and take food. In our Mahapur center, we especially give food distribution on Saturday and Sunday. At least 5,000 people. So all humanitarian work is included.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So now we have come to Germany. You cooperate and make it a great success.
Yes.
For the general benefit of the whole humanity.
Yes.
We have got arts, music, literature, culture, food, everything.
I think it will also help to quite a considerable extent for the removing of prejudices and for a better understanding
But
of...
this is the only platform where all people, all religion, all culture can unite.
And to also
This is the only platform. Krishna consciousness. And you practically see how they are becoming successful. In Africa also, within the village, they are responding. Hare Krishna.
In German, in Spanish, Chinese,
I must say Chinese.
Japanese also.
Yes?
Japanese,
Oh,
And Hindi.
Italian,
French.
Hindi also we have,
Yeah. But Chinese is interesting.
Bengali, Gujarati.
Gujarat. But I also noticed on the faces of the devotees downstairs that many or several faces were, we would say in the West, sublimated. The facial features showed that a certain form of sublimation had taken place. Ja. Wir wurden sagen, durchgeistigte Gesichter waren dabei. Waren Sie auch schon? Wir noch nicht viel, aber doch war. Aber das ist in der Form.
Even children are learning
Yes.
how to dance,
Yes.
how to offer obeisance,
Yes.
how to chant, how to clap. They are also learning.
And I
All
think
children.
I think that it comes at the right time so that people may not be misled into juvenile delinquency or those easy riders and motorcycles and adolescent criminality. They find creative outlets for the energies also as a byproduct. It's not the main aim of the life.
No, we are teaching, of course, we do not defy this modern advance of metaphysics. We don't say that. But this is our main business, really. Jivasya tattva jigyasa, to inquire about the absolute.
So can we not say that this knowledge is an Atma Vidya? That we are trying to come to the knowledge of the Atman. Would you say?
Atman?
Atman.
Atma, yes.
That's what I want.
Tattva jigyasa means Atma jigyasa.
That is why it is also correct to translate the term Krishna Arjuna Samvada as a kind of metaphysical knowledge, philosophical knowledge.
Not now. No, not now. No, whole knowledge, metaphysical, physical, everything is there.
In the Gita is also a verse that 4 kinds of persons seek me. The man who the man who seeks knowledge and the man who
Chaturbidha. And similarly there are 4 kinds of rascals.
Yes.
Chaturbidha. Namang duskidana mudha prabhaddante naradhama. Everything is there.
But perhaps that would be also a question that Graf Durkheim has in mind. I think perhaps when he asked the question about belief, etc., perhaps he also thinks that we are living in a period of where because of the technological construction of society, rational knowledge is appreciated, and for example, 10 years ago, non-rational knowledge in Germany or in Europe was highly suspected. We lived through a period of positivism, and people at our universities were even wanted to abolish the word consciousness. They even wanted to abolish the word psychology on the basis, on the presumption that there is no such thing as a psyche.
But this time is over.
Yes. But for
the modern times are not modern anymore.
Yeah, I agree with you, but just think how they were only a few years ago.
And especially if you talk about the rational spirit, the real German tradition is the irrational.
Yes, I agree with you.
So now this is coming back now, are rediscovering their own past, slowly.
So long they do not come to the standard platform, they will accept this sometimes and that sometimes, this will go. Change.
Yes.
No, but I mean it was differently. Can it not be that the average man in the street, I don't mean a person in the German tradition, but the man in the street now is infected from the...
Absolutely, yes.
And he thinks that in order to give a rational present, he versucht jetzt das zu kompensieren, es ist so wie eine Pyramide. Die Spitzenwissenschaftler sind schon aufgehört, Positivisten zu sein. Aber jetzt dauert 20, 30 Jahre, bis es runter der Pyramide kommt. Und jetzt ist die Volksmasse da, wo die früheren 19.
I realized that the closer members engaged really in this work of distributing books and chanting, wearing the white robes and shaving their heads. There's the closer participants, I suppose. And then have you also members of your movement which are simply in their work, in the community, in the world, or is your
No,
movement.
we invite everyone.
You invite, but as far as members are concerned, to become a member of your movement.
Yes, we have people in all walks of life. For example, the Oberlandesrichter from Baden-Württemberg, he is a life member. And all people, all the doctors, lawyers,
and something like this. He's simply a member.
Yes, he's a member. He supports the movement. He follows the principles himself. He appreciates the philosophy, but he has his responsibility in the society. He acts as a member of the society, any other member.
I see.
But his lifestyle is Krishna consciousness.
Yes.